You're listening to Reignite, a podcast that, at its core, is just about Mass Effect. I'm MJ, and I'm here to bring you a special N7-day treat. We here at Reignite put out a call for fanfiction that we could read together with our CPOV colleagues and turn into little radio plays or audio dramas. I'm really excited to share two great stories with you today. Our first submission is from Sabrina Lee Harms, also known as Chimera Arts. Their submission, Cards Against the Normandy, was co-written by Space Dolphin on Tumblr. That's dolphin spelled with a 0 instead of an O. Sabrina and Space Dolphin became friends through the Mass Effect fanfiction community, and this story shows an incredible sense of humor and understanding of the game that consumes our every waking moment. When asked what N7 Day and Mass Effect mean to her, Sabrina wrote, "For me, N7 Day is about family. The Mass Effect games bring the player into one of the most ridiculous, beautiful, funny, and lovingly dysfunctional families in the galaxy. And the community who loves this game so much has given me a family in one of the most challenging periods of my life. Over the past few years, my partner and I have been playing through the 4 Mass Effect games. He proposed playing through the trilogy with me and colluded in secret with my best friend since kindergarten, who had also played, to put together what they thought would be the optimal order of DLC and a combination of mods to help bring the game to life. I fell hard for the game and began pestering my friend who lived out of state with jokes, pictures, and anecdotes of my shep, trying to save the galaxy when she was not working on her primary objective, banging Garrus's sexy, scaly ass. My boyfriend and I finished the 3rd game days before the full effects of COVID were being felt in the US, and to cope with the ending, I fell into the fanfiction community. This world and community have sustained us through lockdowns, driving across the country to care for my family and shelter in a rural area, and the passing of my grandfather in New Zealand, whom I could not get to because of the travel restrictions. Through this community, I have met other brave soldiers fighting to stay optimistic in this crazy world, and sharing dark jokes and Reaper memes when positivity eludes us all. Their stories and hearing about their lives have made my days of lockdown incredibly full and exciting, and their courage and compassion inspire me every day. They have my 6, and I do everything to have theirs. It doesn't matter what choices we made in the game, who we romanced, or whether we write fluff, smut, or stories about angsty Turians. We are all comrades, and we stand strong together." And now, with no further ado, I present Cards Against the Normandy by Sabrina Lee Harms and spacedolphin.tumblr.com. So, what is this game?
Shepard sipped at her beer, tilting casually back in her chair in the mess. They had at least 8 hours until they would be landing for their next mission, and in an effort to boost morale and shake off the weight of the Reapers trying to snuff out all life, Shepard had busted out booze of every kind and suggested a game night for anyone involved. Unsurprisingly, in under 60 seconds, Joker had sent her a message on her Omni tool saying that he had just the game in mind. And once Shepard confirmed that it was not strip poker, which, apart from definitely being against regulations, was just unfair to Tali, she agreed to his suggestion, which he insisted on being a surprise. Joker placed a rectangular black box with white text on the table.
Hanar for diplomacy. Gabby, Kenneth, and I have been playing it from time to time while the rest of you are off getting shot and racking up kill counts.
Some of us only represent half of those activities.
Sure you do. It isn't at all possible that you are partial to headshots because you nearly got yours blown off.
Oh, come on, Joker. Eating rockets is a key part of a balanced Turian breakfast.
There was a teasing tilt to her helmet as she regarded the other Dextro crew member.
But headshots are overrated. You don't have to worry about that kind of thing with a shotgun.
You also don't have to worry about aiming with a shotgun.
My aim is excellent, you bush-head.
Tali, I've seen you trying to control your emergency induction port after 2 drinks. You could use some work.
So how do you play?
Joker had finished shuffling a handful of white cards and began dealing them out to everyone at the table.
So, everyone has a handful of cards that have different sayings and things written on them. One person pulls a black card from the box, reads it out, and everyone else has to pick something from their hand that they think would be selected by the person who read the black card. It's like diplomacy, reading people, trying to get inside their head.
And saying horrible things that are gonna make someone lose their shit. If you got to say that kind of thing in real diplomacy, I'd totally try to become an ambassador.
Was Samara going to join us?
Joker said it might not be the best idea, and now I think I might understand why.
Didn't want to run the risk of one of the cards breaking her code. I can't move fast enough to roll the dice on that one.
Range of anatomical references is fascinating, although suggested activities with said anatomy parts is inadvisable and painful.
This would be my kind of diplomacy. I just need to shoot them in the face to be in there somewhere.
I have a card that refers to one's face being shot. Do you want it added to your hand?
I don't remember there being a card that says that.
Japhet turned the card in question so that the pilot could read it, and Joker immediately snorted with laughter, causing him to choke on his beer.
A money shot is a little different. Not quite what Rex was going for.
It's what I'd be going for.
By the goddess.
Would you like my money shot?
Sorry, mate. You're not quite my type. Appreciate the offer, though. I did know abroad who...
Here.
Shepard swapped the much-discussed card for another one.
Probably easier to play if you understand what the card means.
Always found that human custom perplexing, not conducive to fertilization.
So, who should judge the first round?
I can go first.
All right. Take a black card and read it out to us.
What ended my last relationship?
And now see what you think she'd select from your hand. Doesn't matter though, because I am definitely winning this round.
The other assembled players had picked their own cards to play. Many brows had been drawn together, and several furtive glances were cast in the Quarian's direction. Jack threw down a card, the last to make a selection, and Tali shuffled the cards and started reading them aloud.
Varen, political dissidents, one really, really good nut. Glory holes. The latest issue of Formax. Nipple blade, those would cause a suit rupture for sure. A fleet and flotilla sing-along. And third base.
She stared at the cards spread out on the table before her, and the rest of the players watched intently. Jack's eyes were darting from the cards to various people at the table, as if trying to figure out who had played what.
No contest. Fleet and flotilla sing-along. If they don't sing their hearts out, I have no interest in being with them.
Come on! Glory holes! I thought you were all about emergency induction ports.
The question is, what ended the last relationship, Jack? Not what kept it going.
Nipple blades. Pointed out yourself. Problematic to suit function.
Third base was so good. I thought for sure a bit of Quarians Gone Wild would land you in the ICU for at least enough time to put that idea on ice.
Sorry, Fleet and Flotilla won my heart years ago.
And it just won me this round.
Keela, I hate you.
And I know you so well.
He slid the card towards him with a finger, fiddling with it until it was perfectly lined up with the edge of the table.
And we go around the table.
This one thinks Blake would really suck.
This is totally my game.
Nah, I'm coming for you, Turian.
A hijack in your pants. A book on how to chat up Hannah. A morally bankrupt counselor.
Is there any other kind?
Exactly why it sucks.
A date with a thresher maw. A blowjob from a vulture.
Not sure sucks is the right word.
An elko reading of War and Peace. Ghosts. And the winning submission. An airlock. Who had this card?
That would be this primitive over here.
I like your style, Commander.
It is actually a push. High pressure of air within the vessel moves.
It's a game, Morden.
All right, Pyjax, lay 'em on me. Adventure, romance, from Nus Astrovid comes Blasto 21 in Kindle blank.
Now that's an amusing premise.
I tried to work on the demolition teams for one of those, once upon a time.
Really?
Yeah. Batarian bloke running that company wouldn't hire me, though.
Why not?
Said my explosions were too big and they'd never be able to swing them with the budget. And he wasn't in the hiring mood. Dumbass actually watched when everything went boom. Blinded. All 4 eyes. No idea what he was thinking.
Blinding explosions would make watching the vid a little difficult.
The shit you see in them is feckin' unrealistic. The real stuff knocks you on your ass and leaves you squinting.
That's why you roll with me. You take all the credits you want. We'll give the Reapers a real show.
I don't know if you need any help, Shepard. Things have a habit of breaking and blowing up around you.
Adventure, romance, from Nus Astrovid comes Blasto 21 in Kindle, 5,000 volts straight to the nipples, being on fire, an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, and a SARS stripper's morning breath.
Nothing wrong with that.
The darkest corner of the extranet, tentacle porn.
Blastovids don't quite count.
Shh.
Shepard batted the bill of his cap with her hand so that it covered his eyes as Rex glared at the interruption.
Miranda's best asset.
Really?
Wet dreams and sloppy seconds. Ha! Wet dreams. Alright, which one do you pick this one? With a quad, wet dreams are no joke.
Shepard's crew looked expectantly around the table.
That would be me.
The air in space next to Rex shimmered as Kasumi's shield dropped and she plucked the card from her hands.
When did you...
I thought there was an extra card.
Glad you can calibrate how many players there are supposed to be.
According to females of many species, forcible ejaculation of Krogan could be described as a blast.
And all they can say is, oh.
Keela.
You're right. That's what Quarian females say.
Yeah, they do.
So, are you gonna play Kasumi?
No, Shepard. I'm going to win.
Damn spooky bitch.
It was Garrus' turn to draw a card from the box. The Turian leaned forward, pulled one out, and then reclined lazily in his chair.
During sex, this one thinks about blank.
Why isn't there the stick up my ass card?
Garrus shot him some exasperated side-eye, and the gathered players picked their cards. Liara finally added hers to the pile, and Garrus picked them up, shuffled, and began reading.
Die for the cause. The heavy breathing of a Volus. Organic produce. A young Quarian out on a pilgrimage, lost in the Terminus system, willing to do anything for some credits.
If I ever meet the Boshted who suggested that card to the game developers.
Garrus caught Joker's eye as he placed the card face down on the table so that the writing wasn't visible. Joker took a particularly large swing of beer.
Me time. My 200-pound Varen father. The 40 Batarian eyes watching me. My... well, not that card.
What? You gotta read all of them. Watching people squirm is half the fun.
Jack is actually right.
What was the prompt again?
I do not recall, but I would appreciate a reminder.
Okay, I'm letting all of you get shot on the next mission.
Statistically speaking, single crew member has little effect on potential hits taken by others.
Grow a quad and read it, Turian.
I'll stick with what I've got, thanks. During sex, this one thinks about my CO.
Who the hell put that in there?
Oh man, I wish that had been me.
Not my card. However, logical choice. Turians respect authority, value accomplishments. Commanding officer might stimulate...
We're not done yet. Last card's still here. During sex, this one thinks about popping my red-hot thermal clip. And that's the winner. Sorry, Commander.
Oh, don't be. I know the Black Widow is your one true love. And that's exactly why I played that card.
Very good, very good. Problematic, but very good.
You're a monster.
And now we get to see if everyone knows what kind of monster I am. This one looks like it's handwritten.
Oh yeah, there are blank ones where you can write in your own stuff. Garrus actually helped Gabby, Kenneth, and I come up with a bunch of them. What's that one say?
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite blank on the Citadel.
There was complete silence in the room, which was eventually broken by the sound of Tali snorting as she fought to contain her laughter. Her self-control severely impaired due to the 2 empty bottles and the discarded emergency induction port on the table in front of her.
I think I know who might have helped with this one.
Shepard's burning gaze shifted to the scared Turian across the table, who became very interested in his hand of cards. Garrus felt a deep rush of jealousy for the mask that was concealing Tally's expression as he fought to keep his mandibles from twitching. Joker openly snickered as he selected a card from his hand and slid it across the table to Shepard.
Oh, I like this game.
I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to play. Being the Shadow Broker probably gives you an unfair advantage.
Maybe, but it didn't stop me from ending up with organic produce.
You never know. Maybe the Turian gets all turned on by farm to table.
Farm to table? Never heard of that position.
Alright, let's get this over with. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite blank on the Citadel. Biotic Handjob. Elcor Stripper. Dance Move. Great to have so much respect from my crew. Bathroom Floor. Well, there could only be 2 people who would put that card down.
Just because you only take 2 of us on a mission doesn't mean the others don't hear what happened.
Remind me why I stopped you from dying on the SR-1? Vibrator. Sushi Restaurant. All you can eat shrimp for 100 credits? Black-eyed Reporter. Replacement fish?
Hey, don't graffiti the cards!
Rex laughed and didn't bother to hide the bits of scratched card littering the table in front of him.
Commander Shepard, defender of the weak, protector of the galaxy, slayer of aquarium pets.
Impressive, actually. Osteochthes, remarkably hardy, requires extreme neglect.
I have been very busy convincing the Council the Reapers are real and keeping you lot alive.
Thank the goddess we have Gardner to make sure we all get fed.
I don't know why I recruited any of you. Since I'm so infamous for giving out black eyes to reporters, and anybody else who bothers me, who else wanted the same makeup job? Well, no one has anything to say to that?
You know what? I should go.
You can find more of Sabrina's work on fanfiction.net under the username Chimera Arts. And you can follow Space Dolphin on Twitter at Orbital Dolphin. Listen through to the end to learn which of your favorite CPOV pals portrayed which iconic character. Our next piece is much shorter, but I'm really happy about the person who submitted it. When Matt and I first started Reignite, he was one of our loudest supporters despite not having played the games yet. Case Aiken, one of our CPOV siblings, fell in love with the world of Mass Effect as deeply as Stormageddon and I, and continues to share that love with others. I present to you Clear Head by Case Aiken.
I wonder why I don't come here more often.
If a little Asari melding is gonna hit you so hard, I may have overestimated our chances.
Rex?
Shepard?
Sorry. I didn't hear you come in.
If that's true, then I definitely overestimated our chances. I'm not exactly subtle.
Definitely not the word I'd use to describe you.
You need to check your quad and start thinking with your head. Saren's been 10 steps ahead of us this whole time, and we're finally about to get him in our sights. But that'll mean he can draw a bead on us too.
I'll be ready. I am ready.
Just because you've walked away from every fight so far doesn't mean that tomorrow's isn't gonna get you. Spit it out.
What?
Talk.
What?
You don't think I'd see a weakness?
Actually, that's not it. I never took you for a therapist.
I'm not. But you need to vent, and you're the type who'd feel weird just saying stuff out loud. I'm just gonna stand here and tune you out. Beats watching the Turian work on the Mako all damn day.
Rex.
I said Vent.
You know what? Fine. It's weird. All of this is weird. I'm taking it in stride, but it's still weird. A few weeks ago, I was preparing for a shakedown cruise of an Alliance prototype, and now I'm doing something no human has ever done before routinely. The only way I can keep this up is if I see each mission as just another step on a stair that I'm climbing, and that I know where it's taking me. But each new thing we encounter makes me question if I even have any idea. Every time I open my mouth now, I feel like I want to say 3 different things.
Uh-huh.
And now, I've touched my mind to an alien, and it was a 2-way connection. Even if we're just drawing out and deciphering the random data bits from the beacon, I'm still feeling Liara with me when I get a flash on my 5th birthday. And I remember just how lonely she was back on Thessia growing up. Humans weren't built to experience these kinds of things.
Weird.
I took this assignment to forge a place for humanity in this galaxy, to show that we're worthy to share it. Now, not only am I carrying the burden of preventing everyone I've ever loved and everyone I've ever hated from dying, but I'm sharing my very core with an alien.
Yep. That'll happen.
I never imagined feeling like I have no secrets from someone I just met. I don't even know if I trust her, but still, I'm an open book.
So how do you really feel?
Energized, pensive, angry? I can't decide. I've never questioned my judgment like this before. My entire career, I thought I knew exactly who I was and what I needed to do.
And what can you do about it?
Nothing, I guess. Survive long enough to see how it plays out? Yeah. I wish I had something more soothing to look at. Maybe fish?
Fish? I could go for fish. You hungry?
Yeah. I am.
Your head clear?
Yeah. It is. Thanks.
Don't mention it to anyone. This isn't canon.
If you'd like to follow Case Aiken's work more closely, you can find him on Twitter at Case Aiken, spelled A-I-K-E-N. You can also catch him hosting Another Pass and Men of Steel on the Certain Point of View network. You'll also hear him on a future episode of Reignite, so don't worry. You'll get to hear what he thinks of the Mass Effect series then. This episode was an intense labor of love that wouldn't be possible without the following people. Matthew Limerick, who served as the narrator for Cards Against the Normandy, Jeff Moonen, who did Seth Green proud as Joker, Brett Eagleson, who portrayed the Galaxy's boyfriend, Garrus Vakarian, Anna Grindrad Feeney, who absolutely crushed it as Tali-Zora Vasnima, the best and only Meg Griffin as Liara Tassoni, honorary CPOV member John Lestrange, who pulled double duty as Zaid in Cards Against the Normandy and Rex in Clearhead, Sam Wilson, who channeled her inner chaotic biotic as Jack, Rachel Corky Shank as Kasumi, Hans Martin Jr., who brought Javik to life despite knowing nothing about him, Case Aiken, who gets so much joy out of portraying Solarians and thus was the perfect choice for Mordin Solus, and lastly, my co-host and dearest friend, Matt aka Stormageddon, who played Rex in Cards Against the Normandy and Commander Shepard in Clearhead. You are my hero, and I am so thankful that we can explore this world together. I hope you enjoyed this special N7 Day episode. If you'd like to hear more from our wonderful actors, be sure to check out their podcasts on certainpov.com, where each show has a unique point of view. Thank you to Red Spinks, David Boyle, and Dan Bull for also creating art within this world of Mass Effect and letting us use that art for this podcast. You're all great. I'm MJ, reminding you to go out there and give them hell. You were born to do this. I should go.
You're listening to Reignite, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite podcast on the Citadel.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.